We talk about Luka trading a franchise player. Now, that one's different. That one is definitely a case where you have to have a conversation. First of all, whose idea was it? I'm still not
Yeah,
totally sold,
right.
right?
Who do you think? Who do you think? Gut feeling.
I
Gut. From
my
being
gut feeling
around it, gut feeling.
my gut feeling is it's ownership. My gut feeling is because that's the number one job of being a GM, Jimmy. It's not to scout players, it's not to negotiate contracts, it's not to do trades. Your number one job is to make that person up there happy. They happy, I'm happy. Like
Mhm.
happy wife, happy life,
Right.
happy ownership, happy life for
Happy,
a general
right.
manager.
Uh-huh.
So if my owner comes to me and he says, "We got man, this dude is out of shape or whatever." I'm gonna try to talk him out of this. Like, no, you don't understand. This kid is really special, and just give him time to mature, whatever. But at the end of the day, you're gonna have to listen. It's their team. You gotta have to listen, and you're gonna have to take the bullets. You can't come up there in front of the cameras and be like, "Yeah, I wanted to keep him, but you can't do that. You have to
Uh-huh.
protect ownership. That's the job, right?" And so I just based on the justifications, and I talked to a lot of people, both
Mhm.
around the Dallas Mavericks and around the league. The justifications just don't add up, right? Because if you're worried about the long term health of this guy, that's why you're doing it. You can't go get someone who has one of the most decorated long term health issues in the league. Like if that's what I'm getting, if my thing is, hey, my Toyota Corolla, it's too small. It's too small. My family's growing. I can't fit all my family into this Corolla. I need a new car. I can't go and get like a Honda Civic. I basically just said the same thing, right? I got to get a minivan. I got to get SUV, whatever. And so they did the same thing here. They moved off of a player who, by all rights, is headed to the Hall of Fame,
Mhm.
right? Early in his career. He's 5 years, 6 years in, and we already like, yeah, he'll be there, right? And for a guy who, again, this isn't about Anthony Davis, the player. The talent is undeniable, but the health issues, the durability issues
Mhm.
are there. Now you could do that. You could make that deal for an older player who has health issues as well. But then you got to tell me I'm getting one, two, three, four first round picks, three swaps, something like that. When you see what Rudy Gobert went for, when you see what Drew Holiday went for when he got traded to Milwaukee, when you see what Mikal Bridges went for to New York, it's hard to sit here and say, "Well, we got one first round pick for Luka."
Yeah, it's true. And if to your point about the health issues, if they're concerned about that, there are covenants you can place into his contract that
Mm-hmm.
adhere and address that situation regarding full pay if he's not healthy, if he's not. It's kind of like what they did with Zion. Now, whether he
Mm-hmm.
signs off on it or not, we don't know. But you could put that out there um, in their contract negotiations. But what I'm looking at, because what they did with Adrian Griffin, kind of, he was above 500. They were one of the top teams in the East. Is
Right.
there now an indictment, and not in a bad way, but in a different way of ownership, kind of peeling back some of the control? How much does the CBA play into this? I don't know. It just seems like ownership
Yeah.
right now is bolder in these situations, especially with the moves they've made during the season with these particular coaches.
That's certainly the case. So what we have also, we got to acknowledge that ownership has changed across the league a lot in the last 10 years. So
Mm-hmm.
I think most of these owners at this point weren't even around for David Stern, right? Which was a very different regime as far as how you are supposed to, operate. And what I mean by that is technically the commissioner works for the owners. He's appointed by the owners to look out for their best interests. David Stern approached that job like, nah, y'all work for me,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
And so there was not a whole lot of tolerance for things that went out of the ordinary. Because if it did, you would get a call from that 212-465 number,
Mm-hmm.
and then you would hear about it. If they didn't make you get on a plane and fly in and hear about it in person. So some of like when you operate under that, and now you grow up, if you're an owner, you're growing up under a regime where it seems like they're a lot gentler and kinder, but also
Mm-hmm.
more willing to allow things to happen. You really don't have that kind of discipline, I think. And this is, make no mistake, it's about discipline, right? Mike Brown gets fired. This is an organization. at the time have been in the playoffs one time
Mm-hmm.
in 15, 16 years, right? And that one time was Mike Brown. He fixed something that everyone said couldn't be fixed. He brought discipline, he brought structure. And as he's in season 3 of this, he's looking around and saying, y'all slipping. You acted like you made it, but you haven't made anything. And we have standards here. And Jimmy, you know this as well as I do. In every NBA organization, there's going to come a time where one or multiple players, they don't like the way coach did this or said that,
Yep.
and they go to someone else. That someone else might be an assistant coach. It might be someone in the front office. It might even be the owner. And they do they do their little complaint. And it's at that moment, I call it the moment of truth. Because if your organization is about upholding standards, and you know that guy who's doing a job is good at his job, like Mike Brown was, when that comes to you, you say, hey, man, that's coach. You got to listen to him. If you do and you try to listen to, you open the door to the play. Oh, they don't even believe in him.
They don't believe in him.
Check out new episodes of The Jim Jackson Show every Thursday. Watch on The Rich Eisen Show YouTube page. Follow the show on Instagram @Jim Jackson Show, or listen wherever you get your podcasts.